In this video, we are talking all things core stability. I want to help you to understand everything you need to know about core stability. I want to let you know why you need to improve your core stability. I want to let you know some of the misconceptions or misunderstandings around core stability. I want to let you know what core stability actually is and why it's so important for you. And also, I want to show you why the simplest exercises are actually the best exercises when it comes to working your core stability. I'm going to show you those exercises, talk you through all inside this video. So let's dive straight in. First, if you're new to the channel, quick introduction. This channel here is called Jon W Sports Injury. I'm the head therapist and sports therapist working in the field for many years now. What I want to do at this channel is help you to understand three simple things. Understand more about your body, understand your pain and weakness so you can get rid of those and strive forward to hit your health and well-being goals. And an important part to play in getting rid of pain and helping your health and well-being goals is core stability. So actually, what is core stability? Well, core stability, put simply, is the muscle system that is designed to protect your spine. So we know with a lot of back conditions, these come about through degeneration, using the spine excessively over a period of time, which causes this problem. We know that the spine itself is a complex structure. It's made up of many joints via our vertebrae that form lots of joints. We have discs in between those joints. We have ligaments holding those joints together. And through the middle of all that, we have a spinal canal with a spinal cord, which creates all of the neural pathways within our body. So we want to protect this spine at all costs. We have a support system designed in order to do that, and that is our core stability muscles. Now, if you're there thinking, well, our stomach muscles are the things that do that, so by doing sit-ups I'm going to get core stability, I'm actually going to tell you that that's wrong. It's a good way of thinking that we want to use these stomach muscle area, but what we actually want to do is make sure that we're not creating movement at the spine. So if you think of something like a sit-up, that creates a lot of movement at the spine. So is this going to add to our degeneration of the spine or reduce our degeneration of the spine? Well, actually, it's going to add to it. We're doing excessive movement at the spine, and it's one we want to avoid. So later on in a short while, I'm going to tell you about some of the exercises you should actually be doing. But firstly, I want to dive into the anatomy and what these muscles that you want to target actually are. If we imagine our spine running through the middle of our body, well, we have this support system in place. We have a muscle called our TVA, transverse abdominis. This is a big muscle that wraps around our spine to form like a corset, if you imagine, a protective layer supporting that spine. We have our multifidus muscle or multifidi that are there also connected to the spine, designed to be supporting it with its movements. So if you've ever had the urge to go to the toilet but not unable to go to the toilet, and you get that deep feeling in the pit of your stomach, that's your core muscles at play here. They're the muscles we want to be targeting because they are designed to be firing to prevent excessive movement at the spine. So how do we target those muscles? Well, what we want to be doing here is coming up with some exercises where if we relaxed ourselves, the spine would naturally move. But what we do during the exercise is we prevent that spinal movement. So we stabilize the spine by firing these key muscles. So yes, things like the rectus abdominis have a part to play, but they have many other muscles involved in this. The TVA or the transverse abdominis that I've mentioned, the multifidi muscles. We've also got our oblique muscles. These muscles have a core stabilizing role, and they are deep muscles that we want to target with these exercises. So let's talk through some of these exercises now and understand the principles. So when I'm working with people and improving their core stability, I often kick off with something like the standing rotation. In this exercise, you want to hold your hands out in front of you, and what we're looking to do is rotate the hands off to the side, back to the middle, and off to the other side. Now, the important thing to note with this exercise is that those hips do not move. If we naturally do that movement, people will rotate those hips, then we get that movement happening at the spine. That's what we want to avoid. In fact, try it by moving the hips and then do the same exercises keeping your hips still. What do you now feel? You'll notice that difference deep in that core area. That's where we're firing the correct muscles, so that when you're out and about walking, running, jogging, anything you might want to be doing, it's those muscles that are firing, preventing the spine from moving and restricting this degeneration process. If we want to make that exercise a little bit more difficult, that's fine. What we can do is add something like a weight out in front of us and perform the same exercises, keeping those hips nice and still. By keeping the hips nice and still, that's when you get that stabilizing effect and that stability being required at the spine. So then we look to progress this exercise a little bit into probably what is one of my favorite core stability exercises. I call these the Superman or the bird dog exercise. What we're looking to do here is to go onto our hands and knees so that our hands are beneath our shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Now, we can begin by using our arms only. And what we want to do is lift one arm up and bring it back to the starting point. Then repeat on the other side. Now again, you've probably guessed it by now, but the key fact here is that we don't move that spine. What would happen when we naturally lift that arm is that the pelvis would rock a little bit. As we reduce that stability that we have, the pelvis would rock and the spine goes through that movement. But by keeping that pelvis nice and still, you'll feel those deep core muscles firing. And it's a much more difficult exercise than it looks when you do it well. And this is my favorite thing about core stability exercises. I mentioned at the start that they're the most simple exercises. On the face of it, they don't look tricky at all. But when you do them well, you can really feel that burn. Now we can progress this exercise by looking to add in the opposing leg. So when one arm lifts, the other leg does as well. So we're further reducing that base of support, encouraging the spine to go naturally into that movement, but our core stabilizing muscles are firing to hold that spine in place. And we're getting that good core workout. Good thing, so if we put that into a real life scenario of when we then have to lift our leg when we're running and we're reducing that base of support, those core muscles are going to be there to fire in to protect our spine, the role that they are designed to play. Now, the next exercise that we can look to progress this into is the good old famous plank, probably one that people might associate with working on core stability. Because now with the knowledge that you've built up through this video, if you think about what the plank is designed to do, what we're doing here, and you've probably done it yourself where you're in a plank and all you want to do is rock out of that position. Because what you've done is work those core stabilizing muscles. But I always encourage people to modify this exercise at least at first. So we can start off, for example, with something like the high plank where we've just got our hands up in the top of the press up position. Don't let the hips rock and see if you can hold that position for a period of time. If then that becomes easier, what we can look to do is drop down and do a plank on our elbows, but with our knees on the floor. So this is what we might call a modified plank. The further back we take those knees, the more difficult that exercise becomes as we reduce the base of support, till ultimately going into a full plank where we go onto our tiptoes and hold that position. Remember, if we're starting to rock all over the place or we're getting lower back pain, we're not doing the exercise correctly. We want to keep ourselves still and just be feeling those deep core muscles firing. If you're starting to get that pain, stop the exercise. It's too difficult and perhaps retreat to one of the easier exercises. And also, don't beat yourself up over this. The plank is a very tough exercise to do well. Most people might judge themselves on how long they can hold it, but actually what they're doing incorrectly is not holding it in the correct position. So potentially only causing extra muscles to work and therefore damaging that spinal area. And then the only other thing to remember is that we have those obliques I mentioned at the start of the video that do play a key role in the core stability element. So you can take that plank exercise and we can take this into a side plank. Again, you might start with a modified side plank where our knees are down on the floor and you're holding that position for a period of time. Once after a period of time you find that easy, then what you can do is take that into the full side plank. So I hope that that video has been helpful for you. What I'm trying to do here is to give you that understanding of what core stability is. As I said, I think it's the most misunderstood form of exercise. And the problem is, if you are trying to improve your core stability, but you're doing it wrong, not only are you not getting any benefits, but even worse than that, you're probably actually getting some detrimental effects because you're creating excessive movement of the spine. So if you are trying to prevent lower back pain, if you are trying to get rid of lower back pain because you know that your core isn't firing, start at the beginning exercise of these videos. Make sure you're comfortable with each exercise where it's not causing any back pain and you can maintain form for the required period of time before you move on to the next one. But has that been helpful for you? If it has, you can do me a huge favor. Smash that like button because that's going to show others that this is the type of content that they should be watching. You're going to help them when they have back pain, and who doesn't want to help other people? It shows me that you've made it this far in the video, and that should show me that this is the type of content that you want to see. So the ones with the more likes are the videos that I look to make similar content to, so I can be giving you the best videos possible. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, like most people who watch this video haven't subscribed. So if you're one of those who's watching this video and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button now and hit that bell notification so I can let you know when I drop our next video right here on this channel. And speaking of videos, here's another one to help you on your way. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.